Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, I'm about to go nuts. King of the party, make the scene go up. Buy out the bartender, drinks pouring up. I've been doing this since a kid growing up. Baby, what's up? Let's roll something up. Baby, did you come to party or what? Got me and tipsy, get all the way drunk. Call us a Uber and go where we want. Let's go where we want. Go where we want. We could club hop or go out and just stop. Have us a fling, baby, no need to front. We could do anything, we could do what we want.
Hold up. Let's make one thing clear. If you ain't from the party, why the fuck you here? Hey, these girls is nuts in here. There's some bad ones up in here. If you ain't from the party, why the fuck you here? Hold up.
It's on E, bitch, please, nigga, hold up. Keep my pocket stuffed with the cheese. Hold up. What you got, wax, nigga, weed, nigga, hold up. Doesn't live, drink, got the drink till we hold up. What you got, deep, if it's deep, nigga, show up. Like a Maryland in the street, nigga, show up. Party again in the club with your bitch, show up. It don't matter what day, it always show up. Nigga, get the picture, nigga, get it in focus. I ain't worried about a hater, I ain't even noticed it. Side street kid, in case you didn't know this, baby, I'm the apple, you should already know this.
Hold up. Let's make one thing clear. If you ain't from the party, why the fuck you here? Hey, these girls is nuts in here. There's some bad ones up in here. If you ain't from the party, why the fuck you here? Hold up.
The low, the troublesome soul, body covered in gold. The flow is Eureka. Smoke more than I need to give me a reason. Don't give me the beast. And you get that shit back here, I'll be your green like a vegan. I'm black and I'm proud on James Brown. Just thinking out loud like Ed Sheeran. No hero, just me. So I talk suit like me. So and back it up like freak. So leave me be or things blow. I am the pinnacle, mini go brag about selling the brand of a mini go. All that they seem to do is a legitimate. Writing these songs ain't righting my wrongs, bearing my soul every word that I'm speaking. Give me a reason, balling all week, not just for the week. And now when I smoke so foul, the aroma so strong that it's constantly breathing. Headed to the top, ain't nothing that can stop. At the bottom is where I begin. We can pretend we ain't seeing who's that in my window peeping in on all my secrets. Who's that round that corner creeping, thinking they gon' catch me sleeping, but they'll never catch me though. It's the F and ain't no question, no.
Yo. What's happening? Back with another episode. We're just gonna cut that off. Let's do it like that. Yeah, man. Think New podcast. Back, episode 10. Side Street Kid, the effing. You know what I mean? And it's a new show I'm doing. Basically just a, little conversation I like to have with various people that I find interesting. You know what I mean? We talk stories and stuff that I guess basically don't have a platform anywhere else. May not get told. A lot of industry stuff, street stuff, whatever. You never know what's gonna come up. Actually, I try not to have like a real format to it. My guest tonight is, or this evening, today, whatever you want to call it, It's actually somebody that I've known for a while, probably like more than 10 years. We make music together. He's a Dungeon family comrade. Um, all of that. And over the years, he's told me some crazy stories before about being on the road. He played in Parliament and toured around the world with them and all kind of crazy stories and stuff and whatever. And I just thought, this would be a good time to have him on the show, and just chop it up, and let him tell his story. You know what I mean? Working with Future, what that was like, how he got into it. He the cat who played like a lot of the guitar parts on Future stuff, like the song that he had with Kelly Rowland and just different stuff. You know what I mean? And me and him have made music over the years as well. He got an album out called I Do Not Own the Rights to This Music. Pobodys Nerfect is the name of the group. It's like nobody's perfect, but Pobodys Nerfect. You know what I mean? A group he started with Rico Wade from Organized Noize of the Dungeon family. And got a lot of people in it, like myself. I've done a lot of collaborations. Love Child. It's like a lot of people. Sort of like a little mini parliament inside the DF kind of. But yeah, I don't want, like I say all the time, I don't want to say too much. You know what I mean? I just want to get him on the show, let him tell his own story. Particularly, I know he was real close with Shock G. Rest in peace to Shock G. And Shock G from the Digital Underground. I Get Around, Fame, Tupac Shakur, Sex Packets. The list goes on, man. Digital Underground is one of my favorite groups. Shock G was one of my favorite rappers. I know you don't hear a lot of people say that, and I'm not just saying that because he passed away. He really, literally was one of my favorite rappers. Do What You Like, all that kind of stuff. I was a digital head. Coming from LA back in the day, it pretty much to me was kind of like Too Short, Hammer, and Digital Underground. Them was like the dudes, you know what I mean? N3w, Easy E. That was it. Them was our groups. And King T, he was one of my favorites too. A lot of people don't mention him. King T, Mixmaster Spade. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna try not to waste a lot of time. You know what I mean? Letting people get a chance to get up in here, see what's going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get them on the line now. We can start this interview up. You know what I mean? And so y'all gotta bear with me for a minute as I go through the routine, pulling this shit up. Yeah, man, I'm hyped about it. And then Mike P be having me rolling, man. Like, I never really know what he gonna talk about, what he gonna say, nothing. You know what I mean? You never know with Mike P, man. So I'm ready to get this started, man. Let's see, I might have to get that number. Oh wait, that's not even the right shit. See if we get him in real quick. Like,
Hey,
yes, sir. What's happening?
brother man.
What's up with you, man?
Man, just I'm quarantined down here in the basement, man.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
heard that.
I'm down here watching Judge Judy. You know, I done seen about every episode of Judge Judy. So now what I'm doing is before the show come on, I'll place a bet to say, okay, who gonna win, the defendant, or is it gonna get thrown out? Like
Right.
it's like it's gonna end up either the plaintiff gonna win, the defendant gonna win, or they can get thrown out totally. So that's why I'm occupying my mind watching Judge Judy.
He tripping. He tripping.
Hey man, it was good seeing you yesterday, man.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I came out. That shit was live.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. That was live. That was like a festival. Well, actually, let me
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm about to bring you on live now where everybody can see
Okay.
you. Bam. All right. We up in there. Mike P.
Hey,
Funk.
hey, Mike, live in concert, baby.
Yes, sir. We up in here. So, yeah, man. So, like, we could start there, man. Like, with yesterday, I know basically, I know it was called the Black Market Festival. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna try to
Hub-
add some
Hub
footage to this
Hub
video.
and Spoke Black Market Festival. And
Hub and Spoke.
my homeboy Decatur Big was the one that hooked me up with it. Cause, first of all, since COVID, all my shows got canceled since last March.
Right.
So we just now getting the band back together and getting, playing out since it's starting to open up a little bit. But yesterday was Mally's first show. That's CC LaFleur, talented, beautiful artist. Her 15-year-old son, it was his first gig on guitar.
Yeah,
And
man.
by the way, you overdue for your next guitar lesson too. Because
Right.
me and you used to sit down on guitar, remember?
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. I still, I play every day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
And
play every
remember,
day.
I gave Andre 3000 guitar lessons before he did the Jimi Hendrix movie.
Yep.
I'm teaching Green Socks. Green Socks getting good on bass now from watching me.
Yep.
And of course, Cool Breeze got nice on them strings for a minute. So I'm just trying to pass it back, man. I don't keep it all to myself.
Right. And then you played some stuff for Future too, right?
Absolutely.
Right. What songs did you play?
I bought a Phantom because I always wanted one.
Yeah.
Played on Deeper Than the Ocean, which was my all-time favorite from Astronaut
That was
Status.
ill. Yeah, that was ill.
Because
Because that had a whole guitar solo to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I did Rihanna, Love and Affection.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff on Future's mixtape, like Trending Topic. It's a couple of them, man. And I'm on the Pluto album,
That's
He still called me every time he need a guitar.
What's it like working with Future in the studio? I gotta ask these questions like I'm just a journalist.
Well, Future he's meathead to me.
Right.
I remember when me and Rico would be in the studio working, he would be crashed out on the sofa, when they coming in from the strip club, it might be 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And he see me and Rico in there putting in work. So now he came back on a private jet. He's like, I'm Future now.
Yeah.
But when he needed a guitar player, he called me.
Right.
Yeah. That's nephew, man.
That's what's
nephew.
up, man. So how did you develop a relationship with the Dungeon family and Rico Wade?
It's funny, man. You just saw Keenan Rostafunk yesterday, right? And that's my tight dog because we was down in Florida together. I moved to Tallahassee, Florida for like 15 years when I first went to college. I dropped out and met George Clinton. The rest was history. I was an engineer in George Clinton's studio. And I ended up in Tallahassee, Florida for like 15 years. But then I finally moved back. And Keenan's daughter went to the same daycare as Deuce, Rico's son.
Yeah.
They would be over there killing time till the kids get off. And one day I went over there. I said, man, what's that smell? He's so mad. Oh, it's Rico. You got to meet Rico. And I guess they was over there playing video games one day. And Keenan would have the music playing in the background. And this way they told me, they was like, Rico was like, hey, who is that playing bass right there? he was like, "Oh, that's Mike P. You got to meet Mike P." So one day they called me, and then me and Rico, sitting around talking, and he had a court date in Kentucky or something, and he needed somebody to help him drive. I was like, "I'll go with you, man." And by the way, I know I can play my music for you and let you hear this. That's how me and Rico got tight, because I helped him get out of a jam one time, and he was working on the Idlewild. That's when Idlewild, my first song was Into You, that was on the Idlewild movie soundtrack.
Right. I remember that.
I wrote that song back in the George Clinton days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about 2000, probably about around 2000. And I recorded that song at Keenan's house one time. Cause see, you got to understand, down in Tallahassee, it was a rap group called the Nappy Heads.
I remember them.
Which later T-Pain went solo, and now it's T-Pain. They used to be in the studio. I'd come in like, Keenan, get these kids out of here, man. I'm ready to work. I ain't know it was going to be T-Pain. I should have been nicer to him, huh?
Yeah, right. But he wasn't even called T-Pain back then. His name was something else.
But I saw him years later, man, and we laughed. He was like, Mike P, where you been, man? I said, man, I've been right here, man. You ain't been looking for me.
Yeah.
No, but it's funny. That's how I met Rico, was through Kumani, which is Keenan's daughter, and Deuce.
Word. That's crazy. Through the kids. That's what's up. So, and before that, you was with Parliament.
Absolutely. I was George Clinton's engineer. I was his studio engineer for 6 years.
Okay.
So that's how I got in the door. I was playing my guitar, and George, he'll let anybody play. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He'll let anybody play. He never was like, he would let me play. I would get fired too now. But I got fired for Bootsy Collins, but that's when I first learned what goes on inside of a studio, which was with George Clinton. I saw how we was using like ADAT tapes back then. They like VCR tapes.
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes the machine ate up your tape. Sometimes it did, But yeah, man, that's when I first got my engineering thing on. Mm-hmm. I was watching all these great artists and musicians. I'm like, oh, that's how you stack vocals. Because I'm here recording everybody. So, of course, I'm watching it and I'm picking up how everybody's doing it. Well, shout out to Trey Lube, man. I learned so much from him. George Clinton's son, Tracy Lewis. Mm-hmm. And now you got Trezay, which is the third generation. My nephew, I seen him grow up knee-high to a grasshopper. Now he's a star. So, one time for George Clinton, my Parliament, Funkadelic family, Andre Fox, my Uncle Boogie, Uncle Gary, Fly On in Heaven, Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm working on a tribute album for the late, great Cordell Boogie Mawson, which one of the OG funk bass players, mm-hmm. Unreal, multi-talented, play drums, lead, bass, play anything. But he did the bass line for I've Been Watching You.
Oh,
Say you move, your sexy body.
That's one of the most funkiest bass lines ever, boy, I swear.
That's Uncle Boogie.
God damn.
Hey, Dr. Dre sampled it for the N3w interlude, remember?
Yep. And what's crazy is I wasn't really well versed back in the day with being able to recognize samples like off of records versus you know what I mean? So that song I actually discovered just because I was a Parliament head. You know what I mean? I used to just listen to Parliament records all the time, like in high school.
Absolutely.
And I found this old Parliament record was like, you used to find them tapes, they'd be like $5.99 or whatever.
Yeah.
I found one of them. I said, Dad, I never heard none of these songs. It had Funkadelic on it.
Oh man, yeah.
It had Sexy Body. It had
you know what, Ken?
A couple things.
Everybody got Shock G on the brain, and I just want to say this, man. He was a cool dude because he was a P-Funk head, Sons of the P. He was always around. And Shock, I met Shock G through George III, which was GC3, which was my best friend. That's George Clinton's firstborn child.
Right.
George the third. A lot of people don't know Big G is actually junior, and his son is the third. Well, we used to call him the turd, but GC3, that was my best. That was my best friend. But I met Shock G through Georgie, and Shock let me sit in with Digital on guitar one night, and he would come sit in with us because I had my band called Smoke. You know what I mean? That's where Kendra Foster comes from. We'll talk about that later.
Right.
She would go on to win 2 Grammys, you know, working with D'Angelo. Yeah. But I started her out in the studio. She sang with my band. And Shock G was going to do a show with us one night in Athens, Georgia, up near the University of Georgia. And he was just going to sit in on keyboard. He was Greg that night. He didn't want to be Humpty. He wanted to be Greg. Yeah. And the club owner was like, well, shit, man, you going to wear the Humpty suit? He said, yeah, for $10,000 more.
Right.
I said, he charged extra to be Humpty.
Yeah.
He charged extra to be Humpty, man. But he's Greg. He's just a keyboard player, man. And that's my fondest memory that I remember of Shock, man, because he let me sit in with Digital. I met Money B. Everybody was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Digital's one of my favorites. I was talking about that before I brought you on. Like, back coming from LA, people don't realize how deeply rooted they was. They came at a time when it was only like Too Short, NWA.
They from the Bay, right?
Yeah, they from the Bay.
Yeah.
They was there from the foundation of like West Coast hip hop. You know what I mean?
I mean, you wouldn't have Tupac without Digital. You know?
Right. We wouldn't have Pac. You know what I mean? Plus, I mean, the digital undergrounds, the digital albums themselves. Like that's why Pac wanted to be down because they was the shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They was the shit.
And they was sampling the hell out of some Parliament, man.
Yep.
Put up the song "Let's Play House."
Yeah.
That's where Humpty Hump comes from.
Yep.
The horn samples. When you play it, you'll be
that's
like,
what it was the horny horns they was sampling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's called "Let's Play House." It was on the Trumpipulation album. It's the album cover with George got an elephant nose on it, and he got like finger waves. He got his hair, you know.
Yep, I saw the video. I didn't know they had a video for it. I saw the video about 2 weeks ago for the first time when it was in New York, just wilding. He had the nose on. They had the capes and man, Parliament was off the chain, boy. They was off the chain. They said they shot that video because they had took acid from the government. You know what I mean? They did an acid experiment with the government.
Like experiments and shit back then, like on the college campus. They'll actually pay you to take acid so they can watch you and see how you freak out.
Right. That's crazy. I can't imagine getting paid by the government to get high, man.
But you got to understand, Parliament started off as the Parliaments, which was a doo-wop group. Mm-hmm. They were trying to be like the Motown Temptations, you know. Mm-hmm. And they was in Detroit. George got a job writing songs for Motown. He's trying to get in the door. Mm-hmm. And they was trying to compete with the Temptations.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's too much competition as a doo-wop group, man. They messed around and did a show. They started doing acid. They did a show with it's a little rock band, and the amps was louder. They used somebody else's equipment. And it's like, hold on, man, this is funkadelic. They start revamping the style. They wearing hippie clothes now instead of suits. Mm-hmm. And it was just meant to be. Now they coming in with them boom, 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 doom, 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 not the doo-wah, shooby dooby doo-wah. The doo-wop shit gone now, but they still harmonizing. They still harmonizing. Yeah. So now we're a rock band now. And that's how they found their niche, man. That's how they found their niche.
That's dope. And they were saying that funkadelic at the time was like saying a cuss word.
It was. Funk was a bad word.
Yeah, funk was a bad word.
Too close to funk.
Right. You're like, funk. Hey, that's crazy to think about, though, man. That's like a true pioneer.
Absolutely, man. And talk about one of the greatest samples of all time. I mean, other than James Brown, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Other than James Brown, man, because it's funny, hip hop was basically based off James Brown. And George and them is up there
George
too.
fit right in because he had the theory too that James Brown had.
And I'm coming, by the time I'm growing up, we listening to Eazy-E, N.W.A., Too Short, which was my personal favorite, because he was the one talking about pimping, getting girls. Like, as a child, it's like he's teaching you the game on how to get pussy, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So Short is always going to be a part of my life, because he taught me, you know.
Yeah, he laid the game down. Like, until you heard Too Short, I don't know if people knew that people talk to women like that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's really just the confidence of believing in yourself.
Yeah, that's all.
It ain't talking bad to nobody.
No. It's not even. It's not. I ain't mean it like that. Like you.
Most people are scared to talk to girls.
Mm-hmm.
Short was like, man, just believe in yourself, man. You'll be surprised with them.
That's what I mean. Like he kicked the truth instead of like trying to run a lot of game and gloss it over.
Yeah,
like he cut straight to the chase, kick the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what I was saying was all that early Too Short funk was hidden in. You listen back, you'll hear old cameo samples, Parliament samples, and all that Too Short stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, you know how Dre got down, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Just people sampling the funk, man. Like I said, it was James Brown and P-Funk back then. It was the heavyweight samples.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. What was it like working with George Clinton?
Man, like working like Christmas every day. You work with Santa Claus. But you know what's weird, kid? When the extraordinary becomes ordinary. Like me and George Clinton was like roommates for 6 years. We all lived in the same little complex. You know, it was like a compound almost. It was
that house that they always talk about, the Parliament house?
No, it was not the mansion in Detroit, but what I'm talking about was in Monticello, Florida, which was like 30 miles outside of Tallahassee. You had to go down a long dirt road to get there. And so it's off back in the woods, man. It was back in the woods, man. But working with George Clinton is like working with Santa Claus, man. You never know what's tomorrow gonna bring. You know, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. One time for Belita Woods, and Belita was from Detroit. She told me wonderful, marvelous singer, Belita Woods, man. You got to Google her, but she's from Detroit. She said she used to babysit Anita Baker when Anita Baker was a little baby. But she was a little, you know, that's old school Detroit right there. Yeah. And, you know, they used to be in talent shows with Carolyn Franklin, which of course is Aretha Franklin's sister, who was bad herself. Aretha's sister was bad too, you know. And it's funny, man. I was blessed to actually get a role in the Aretha Franklin movie with Jennifer Hudson. I'm in like 3 scenes.
For real?
Yeah, last January, right before COVID hit. Jennifer was in town. We was over there at it wasn't Tyler Perry studio, it was the other one. But yeah, man, we got it wrapped up. I'm in 3 scenes. I hope I didn't get edited out of all of them.
So it's not out yet, but
I'm showing up as one of Aretha's guitarists in the movie. So it's supposed to be coming out in August, so I'm kind of looking forward to that.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot. That's what's up. So working with both Parliament and the Dungeon family, like, do you see like similarities in it, or like?
I'm gonna break it down real easy, man. When I was in George Clinton's studio, we might work on like 10 things in one day. When I got to the Dungeon, might work on one thing for a month. Hey, but
that's the truth.
But 2 weeks later, that shit's on the radio. Like, I watched it with my own eyes. I watched Rico from the beginning when he did Mighty O. When 3000 came out of retirement, when he said he wasn't gonna rap no more, and he came back and did Mighty O. I saw that track when he first went up to DC, going to the record shops, get finding little samples.
Yeah.
I saw him put that sample together with the beat. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw him I was supposed to play bass on it, but I couldn't catch nothing. I couldn't catch the right vibe, so I didn't play on that one. But it's funny, man. 2 weeks later, that shit was on the radio.
Yeah.
I think I was like, okay, that's the difference. George might sit on the song for 10 years before anybody hear it.
But
George might sit on the song for 10 years. I done seen it happen. Bro. I'm over here when I got with Rico. We over here, man. We got Ludacris coming through. We had K. Michelle came through. This before they blew up. We had Wiz Khalifa before he blew up. You know what I mean? You can go. You can find some YouTube clips. You know, but yeah, man, it was unreal.
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa's on YouTube with Organized Noize from back then. He was a kid. He was like 18.
He was a little kid. This is right before Black and Yellow.
Yeah, yep, I remember. Yep, I remember that. I think I was there.
You probably was.
Yeah, I was there for most of it. Yeah. Yeah, so I can definitely attest. That one song might play.
It's gonna play, man.
2 weeks.
It's gonna play. We're gonna sit there. We're gonna play video game. We're gonna watch TV. We're gonna watch ESPN. That song just playing in the background.
Yep.
But see, I saw how he works. That's how he formulates. Because he's thinking of, okay, what's the hook gonna be? You know, I gotta hear it over and over. He'll walk out the door and listen to it from this angle just to see how the bass is kicking. Yeah. It was my job to tune his 808s. I said, "Is that Black History?" I tune Rico Wade 808s. Like, right. I think that's
Black history because they 808s is famous.
Hey,
they known for the 808.
It's crazy. He don't need me now. Now he know exactly what key he playing in. It's crazy. I worked myself out of a job. But no, it's funny. Like, me and Rico came up with Pobodys Nerfect together.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was something that he called, like, the stuff with the little rock edge, because I brought in more guitars now. And then just some kind of way it clicked, Pobodys Nerfect. And we started off doing shows together, and he would perform with the band. Remember we did?
Yeah, we did a couple shows together. Like, in the beginning, I want to say,
yeah,
I was very integral in it. It was like me,
Absolutely.
you, Rico, and Big
Yeah.
Roo. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So, but over time, he kind of walked away from it and put me in charge of it. So I'm kind of keeping it going. Pobodys Nerfect, Mike P and Pobodys Nerfect live in concert, and you know, man, I'm
got an album glad. Out, right? Because I know I'm on like 2 songs.
Absolutely, and you got stuff in the can that's getting ready to come out now. Yep. Like that last week, man, I ain't gonna say nothing this.
Right, but we got some hits. We got some hits.
But yeah, man.
Which ones are out? The ones that are out is
I gotta show. See, you gotta go to my YouTube page, and you'll see everything because the one we did retro pornographic,
right?
Which is now that I named that one. I do not own the rights to this, nor do I want to. That's the name of that one. I do not own the rights to this, nor do I want to.
Yeah.
So yeah, you on that? You on retro pornographic? You on Chocolate Lover, of course, which is everybody's favorite song.
Yeah, we got a video for that. We got a video for that on YouTube.
Yeah. But this upcoming Mike P project, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, it's gonna be funky. It's gonna be funky. I got Cujo Goody on there with me. I got you on there with me. And I got Tito Low on there with me.
Yeah,
I got DJ the Witch Doctor. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be some fun. It's gonna be some fun. Just wait and see.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
Everything coming together good. My computer keep messing up, but I'm gonna figure it out. It take all day for my Pro Tools to come on, man. I'm finna get electric on their ass.
Yeah.
I just got it now. I got to break out everything down and transfer it over to the other computer. You know, I'm gonna get it done though, man. I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah, I wish people could see that studio down there, man. They probably they can't imagine right now what's down there, man. Hey, you got some gear like
I got some shit in the can, baby. I got some shit in the can, man.
Yeah, that's hot.
Absolutely.
So I know what I wanted to ask you too. I remember one day we was kicking it, and you was telling me about being overseas, doing some shows and stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. I I was in Germany for like 9 months. Traveled to England. I was in London. That's where I actually worked with my boy Rob Manzoli on N3w. I first wrote the song in Florida. I took it over to England. Rob put some harmonies on it, you know, kind of tinkering with it a little bit. And that's when we took it to OutKast after I came back from London. But yeah, I did a whole album over in Germany, and I still pull little pieces off of it from here and there. But I was in Germany, man. I got on a bus. I forgot where I was going. And Sorry Miss Jackson came on the radio of the bus. And that's when it hit me. I said, damn, this Dungeon Family shit is worldwide. This shit is worldwide, bro.
Yeah, that's hot.
Sorry Miss Jackson came on the bus when I was in Germany. I was in, I can't remember the name of the city. It was, damn, she couldn't be mad at me. It's not Hamburg. It was, it'll come back to me in a sec, but yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's
Funky Taurus. One time for Funky Taurus. Tell me the name of that city. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But yeah, Funky Taurus, man. One time over there in Germany. She had her own record label, her own TV show, you know, taught me a lot of the game. She taught me how to do marketing, you know what I mean? Funky Taurus, baby.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So how did that work with you creating the song in Germany, like, and then getting the placement with OutKast? Like, what was that?
It just happened all by accident. It never happens when you try to force something. When you have your plan, you say, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do it. That shit don't never work. All of my best stuff happened by accident, man. All of my best stuff happened by accident. Like I said, when I came back from London with Rob Manzoli, that's Keenan and Rico over there playing video games. Right. That's when I met Rico playing my music. He said, man, you know what? I think this one will work for OutKast. He called Big Boy on the phone right then. Played it over the phone. But he was like, yeah, man, that shit funky. That's now I'm in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Now I'm DF. I officially did a record, and me and Wallace wrote this. Wallace wrote the hook. That's how Wallace came in. I did the music. Wallace wrote the hook. I did the harmonies. That's me singing the hook.
That's crazy.
If you look at the record, it says vocals by OutKast. Yeah. No, it's me. It's me. I played bass. I played lead guitar. I did the vocals, and the rest was history. Now I'm DF. Yeah.
That's ill. That's ill. That's ill. That's ill.
He called Big Boy on the phone right then and there and played it. And he was like, yeah, man, that's cool. Cujo ended up getting on the song, too. And you. That Ottawa I don't get a lot of credit, man. That shit was funky. Wild Peach, like, oh, man, killed it.
Yeah, I love Wild Peach, man.
Pull up that Mutron Angel when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Dave Wild. One time, big bro Dave out there, man.
Yeah.
One time for Tommy Martin, my big DL brother, Capricorn like me. Hey, one time for Shorty B. One time for Shorty B.
Yeah, Shorty B. That was what's up.
Since we talking about Too Short, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dangerous. Shorty B was my idol growing up, man. Then I got to work with him one day, you know. I'm like, I can't believe this shit, but I'm already coming from George Clinton. So, but now I'm working with Shorty B. I'm like, man, I listened to all your bass lines growing up, man. I was like a little kid, you know?
Right, like way too funky and all that.
Man, I just talked to him the other day, man.
Yeah.
He played all the funky bass lines for Too Short. Shorty B, baby.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, do you think it's a difference in playing hip hop, like rap music and funk? And if so, like what would
it all kind of goes together. Think about 8-Ball MJG, Space Age Pimpin'. Scarface, Let Me Rock. Beam, boom, 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 a beetle, beetle, beauty. It's all funk. It's all one. You can sing over it or you can rap over it. It's all the same to me. It's all the same.
So it don't matter. Whatever.
It don't matter. You can make a track or you can make a beat. You can sing on top of it. You can rap on top of it. whatever you want to do. You could DJ scratch on top. You know, like growing up, we lived in Bankhead till I was 5 years old, and we moved to Wesley Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
On the east side, I'm from Decatur.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, my dream was to be down with Edward J and the J Team. I started off as a DJ back then because everybody got their neighborhood group, right? I was the DJ.
Uh-huh.
So my whole goal in life was to be down with Edward J and the J Team. That's all I wanted. Later, you would hear about DJ Smurf. When later he would become Mr. Collie Park. You know what I mean? Our DJ Lynn, my pal, my friend, DJ Man, Toon, Mike Fresh, the DJs for Shy D.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the DJ game was serious, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Shy D had the best DJs in the city. You had Edward J. Then later, the next generation, you would have Jelly Bean and MC Assault. That was the next generation, man.
Yeah.
And so this is the culture that I come from, you know. So by the time see, back then it wasn't cool to play guitar, man.
Mm.
When I was 10 years old, I saw this little short dude wearing purple playing guitar and getting girls. Remember that scene when Apollonia titties come out?
Yes, sir.
I was a 10-year-old kid.
Never
I'm like,
get it.
Oh, yeah, you can get girls with a guitar, huh? Oh, Dad, I want a guitar for Christmas. Like, that's when I got serious.
Yeah.
10 years old, when I seen them titties come out, I say, boom, oh, that's how I can get some girls.
Crazy.
And like, because it wasn't cool to play guitar back then, let's face it. That's when I went from DJing. You know, of course, I was playing drums in the band. The movie Drumline came from my school, Southwest DeKalb.
Mm.
You know, that was another cool way to get girls. You had to find something to make you cool.
Yeah.
You know, it was Drumline. Later on, I learned I really couldn't even play guitar that good at first. It took me a long time to really. It was one day I was down in Florida. I was like, "Hold on, man, I think I got it now." I was doing show, but I never let it stop me though. Mm-hmm. I know I ain't the best, man. George Clinton told me one day. He said, "Man, you ain't got to be the best. You just got to outlast all the rest of the suckers."
Facts.
Hey.
Facts.
Let's leave it right there.
Yeah. What was that shit? You be telling me some shit. What was the thing you told me George Clinton said the one time, man, about
George owed me $300.
Uh-huh.
I said he owed me $300. I said, George, man, I hate to be a pest, man, but what about them $300? He said, don't be a pest and hate it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Don't be a pest and hate it. Man, that shit was hilarious to me, man. When
you can't be both of them now.
You can't be both of you. If you gonna be a pest, damn it. But don't be a pest and hate it, man. God damn. That shit is funny, man. That's funny. Shout out to George Clinton, man. I can sit there and listen to that cat speak the little riddles all day, man. That shit be hilarious.
Hey, absolutely, man. I'm going to have to catch up with you next time, kid. Thanks for having me. Definitely. Anytime. And then I'm going to catch you on your next guitar lesson. I'm going to call you next week, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because I remember you was kind of funny about the COVID thing. Did you get your shots?
Hell no. Nah.
Did you get shot? Okay, that's a whole nother subject. So, you know what I mean?
That's why I'm funny about it.
I'm going to wait and see how, you know what I mean? And I'm glad I waited. But the funny thing is, the vaccine that caused problems, the Johnson & Johnson, they say it only happens to women. Ain't that a B?
I don't know about that because they would say DMX took the shot and that caused his complications. And I heard
a lot of that stuff is propaganda, though. But I don't know. CNN now is you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
I watch CNN, but I seen CNN change. They used to be right down the middle, but now they so liberal. And then you look at Fox, and they're the most conservative. It ain't no middle no more.
Nope.
You know, it's crazy.
And I don't think anybody knows what they're talking about. So I just kind of, try to make
wait
up my own mind. Yeah, that's all you could do.
But it's funny, man. When that COVID thing first started, we thought it was just going to last 4 weeks. Now it's a year later.
And we still have about the same amount of information as we had a year ago.
But yeah, I can see a little progress, but it's crazy, man. You got the masks, the maskers, the anti-maskers. I wear my mask, man.
Yeah.
I wear my mask. It ain't no political statement. Cause it's funny, the people who say I ain't gonna wear no mask, then you find out 2 weeks later they got COVID.
Wow. Yeah. I think that you just never know. I believe, it's about comfortability. Like yesterday, it wasn't a whole lot of people packed together. It was
But we were
people there.
spread out.
We were spread out, and it was outside. So I didn't
Outside.
feel like I needed to have my mask on at all times in that situation.
And I put it on when I walk in the store.
But yeah, if I go inside somewhere.
Yesterday was cool because we was spaced out outdoors. Everybody ain't all up in each other's face,
Right.
Yeah, I'd just rather be safe than sorry, man.
That's what I say. That's what I say. Because we don't know what's going on right now.
Yep.
But I let everybody have their own opinion. I don't sit here and argue with nobody about nothing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's how you feel.
You gotta make your own choices for yourself, man.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I ain't trying to force nobody to be Mike P. It's already hard enough for me to be me.
Right.
Everybody not gonna think like me,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to get back together on that because I want to show you some of the new stuff I got going on now. You know what I mean?
All right, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here now. But I'm gonna catch up with you in a minute, big bro.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate
Anytime.
that. Definitely. And we're gonna.
All right, everybody out there in the cyber world, Mike P signing off. Much love and affection, baby. And Pobodys Nerfect.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Here we out. Yeah, man. Mike P. Fizzle in the building. That was dope, man. I appreciate he coming on here. We we chop it up a lot. And I like to have, have people that can come on, tell those kind of stories. I wish I probably could have got more in depth with some stuff, but I just be free flowing, and we did get to touch on the topics I wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I think that's dope. Mike P's a cat that I fuck with. Obviously, he told you, I learned a lot of my guitar shit from Mike P. You know what I mean? I've only had a few people that I was able to really sit with and try to learn guitar from. Mike P is the main one. Shorty B's another person that showed me a lot of stuff. Shorty B, Nile Rodgers, I sat around him for a couple years and was able to pick his brain a little bit, ask questions. And his guitar tech, Terry, rest in peace, he taught me a lot of stuff about maintenance and keeping the guitar up and just everything. He actually taught me how I could build one, building guitars, how to fix them, how to do everything. Shout out to Terry, man, rest in peace. He was real cool, old school rocker, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, and that's about it. It hasn't been like a whole lot of people that I've been able to sit with and learn from like that, but between them, I think I got a good foundation of, the guitar, you know what I mean? Plus I studied it on my own, I'm the type of person where if I'm gonna learn something, I wanna learn it, you know what I mean? Really get busy and try to understand what's going on, you know what I mean? So when it came to guitar, that's what I did. I got into it for real. I was like, man, I want to be able to know the fretboard and know what the notes are and how they come together and why a chord is a chord and all this kind of stuff. And so I think that I mean, of course, I don't know it like that. That's something that takes, I think, a lot of time. But I think I have a good educational, you know, base, like to go from now. You know what I mean? And so it's easier for me to play. You know, a lot of it now is just maybe strengthening my hand speed. You know, stuff like that. You know, just a lot of practice. Guitar takes a lot of stuff. I mean, it takes a lot of work. And then being a writer and a producer, all of that takes work, man. Like, you know, so I take my time with it. But I've been playing now for about, let's see, when I started working with Mike P, it might have been 10, 11 years ago. Maybe even 12, something like that. So, and I'm not going to say I was super serious about playing and practicing that whole time. So I wouldn't be like, I've been playing for 10 years. But I think I've been seriously playing and practicing now for about 4 or 5 years. And I think that's a good start, you know what I mean? With 15 years of trying to figure out little stuff, how to hold it and get your hands right and go between chords and stuff, and then another 4 or 5 of actually practicing, you know, learning scales and stuff like that. Like, but I don't play songs either. Like, I don't practice playing songs. I haven't started yet, I should say. That's something I'll probably start doing soon. But I practice basically scales, chords, exercises, and noodling, pretty much. And that gives me a good, you know, like an exercise regimen to move around, be able to play, be able to think what I want to play, and then play it, hear stuff and try to, you know, mimic it, that kind of stuff. And then, and I ain't gonna say I don't play no songs, I play some songs, you know what I mean? I play some Bob Marley stuff, and I like, you know, indie rock stuff, you know what I mean? Wonderwall and just weird stuff, Tracy Chapman, you know, stuff like that. And then I play songs that I've written, like songs that I produced before I started playing guitar, and then I learned how to play it on guitar and then practice that, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So anyway, man, check out Mike P. You know what I mean? Mike P Funk. He's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. It's Pobodys Nerfect. And yeah, man, you know, tap in, check out the songs I did with him. I got songs with him, like you said, retro pornographic, and yeah, I don't really want to say the titles and stuff because I don't know which songs he's holding and whatnot. So I ain't gonna say the titles, but I got a couple. Go check them out. Like you said, the name of the album is "I Do Not Own the Rights to This Music, Nor Do I Want to." Mike P. Patterson and Pobodys Nerfect. Yeah, man. Side Street Kid. Tap in. I got the hat on. You can get you one. I got gray and black trucker caps, mesh. You know what I mean? $20. All you gotta do is DM me. You can DM me. Hit me on Cash App or something like that. Whatever. Send me the address. Boom, and I'll ship it to you. I got tank tops and wristbands. Side Street Kid USB wristbands. So you could put your music on it or whatever, keep it on your arm, you know what I mean? You always have it with you, bam, pop it off, pop it in the computer. It works on any standard USB drive Those are $10. And I got the elephant poo hoodies. You know what I mean? That's something I do with Mill Gates, me and the homie from Dungeonese. Through the elephant poo brand. That's the you know what I mean, the legal cannabis company. And yeah, man, check it out. Think New podcast. Check out my album, Good Kush, Good Drink, Bad Girls. It's on all streaming platforms right now. And also my poetry album, If Heaven Never Spoke. That's on all streaming platforms as well. You know what I mean? Tap in Side Street Kid, the F. And I'm out.
Shoulder the load, the troublesome soul, body covered in gold. The flow is Eureka. Smoke more than I need to give me a reason, don't give me the beast. And you get that chef, I'll be your green like a vegan. I'm black and I'm proud on James Brown, just thinking out loud like Ed Sheeran. No hero, just me, so I talk soup like me, so and back it up like freak, so leave me be or things blow. I give the pinnacle, mini go brag about selling dope, none of them meaningful. All that they seem to do is sell a drum or two. I'm just a fool. I'm just a fool. I'm just a fool. I'm just a fool. Writing these songs ain't righting my wrongs, bearing my soul every word that I'm speaking. Give me a reason, ballin' all week, not just for the week. And now what I smoke so foul, the aroma so strong that it's constantly breathing. Headed to the top, ain't nothing that can stop, but the bottom is where I begin. We can pretend we ain't seeing who's that in my window peeping in on all my secrets. Who's that round that corner creeping, thinking they gon' catch me sleeping, but they'll never catch me though. It's the F and ain't no question, no. I'm just a fool.